Hey everybody, welcome back to another Envision video. My name is Dany Acosta, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of PowerPoint for those who are visually impaired, blind, and how to simplify them for your students or yourself. So guys, I just shared my screen right now, and I'm going to be going to the folder that we've been working on. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, be sure to check out the other videos. They will be in the description down below for the Envision series. We have been creating folders, making documents. And so I want to talk about the importance of PowerPoints for students. I want to start off by saying it is crucially important to be able to have a way to access these PowerPoints for students who have a visual impairment before the semester begins, especially those first 2 to 3 weeks. It is very crucial that we have them. And if you agree with me, why don't you drop a like on this video? Make sure to subscribe for more videos to Envision Inspiration. So why don't we jump into it? So I'm going to go Windows M for desktop.
Windows M, menus, desktop, folder view list.
Okay, and then I'm gonna do S for that folder we've been working with, right?
S, shut down X, S, Salem State University alumni.
Salem State University alumni. We're gonna enter. Okay. And before I go forward, I want to emphasize a point right now. The PowerPoints that we're going to be looking at today specifically are from my introduction to understanding suicide class. The first step you want to do, okay, is as you see here, we have different classes, right? We have class 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we have already worked on these throughout the other videos. So if you are wondering how to make all of this for your class organization, be sure to check out the Envision series. So what I did is you want to make sure you advocate on your behalf, but you also want to reach out to disability services and your professors. So this is what you're going to do. In the beginning of the semester, before, let's say it's the first week of August, right now it's the second week as of the recording of this video, right? Or about the second week. So what you want to do is you want to reach out to disability services at your school. And you want to say, you know, I feel a lot more comfortable using PowerPoint notes through Word document, meaning that the professor will be responsible, okay, because this is an ADA thing, right? The professor will be responsible to send their PowerPoints ahead of time. And this is, I want to highlight this so much. It is ahead of time that they have to do this, to send it to the people at disability services so they can then transfer all of that into a Word document, okay? Now, you want to be very specific. You want to tell people at disability services, how can I make it so that you divide it by slides? So for example, and I'll go into that in a little bit. But the reason I'm saying this is because you do not want to be in a class, okay? And this is also for those professors, right? And right now I'm going to be talking from a perspective as a completely blind student. You do not want to be in a class, all right, where you're in your first class, your second class, and you don't have access to PowerPoints. So there's things on the screen and you have no idea what's going on, okay? For example, a math class, if your professor is saying, you're going to move this variable this way and this one over here and this one over there, you have no idea what that means at all whatsoever. So that's why you need the PowerPoints ahead of time. Also, if there's going to be images on the screen or short videos, the disability services can make those accessible for every single person according to what they expect or what they prefer. I love disability services at Salem State University and at North Shore Community College. They did an amazing and a phenomenal job making all of my material accessible. So make sure you reach out to them and always give them kudos because they work really, really hard to make sure that everything is accessible to a student. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to number 1. I know it's supposed to be an English class, but I was looking at the notes and I really like the PowerPoints from my suicide class. Okay, so my introduction, or sorry, understanding suicide. So we're gonna go here. Now, as you can see here, okay, I made a new folder. And if you remember how to make a new folder, extra points to you. But the way you do it is Control Shift N. Okay, Control Shift N. It's gonna say new folder. You're gonna delete that backspace. Because it's already, everything's already highlighted. And then you're going to put whatever you want to put. In this case, I already made one called PowerPoints. So right here, I'm just going to put example. Example, okay? But since I already made my PowerPoints folder, okay, I'm going to down arrow to, I'm going to press P for PowerPoint,
P. Not selected. PowerPoints. 2.
or just arrow to
What's
it.
doc? PowerPoints. 2 of 3.
And I'm going to press enter.
Enter. Items view list box. To move the item, press the arrow keys. Items view multi.
And for those of you that have low vision or are sighted, as you can see, I have Word documents labeled from 1
Class 8 PPT docs.
to 8, and it's class 1, class 2, class 3, all the way to class 8. Now you can do this however you want. Let's say you have 2 classes a week. Maybe you want to do week 1, class 1, week 1, class 2, week 2, class 1, week 2, class 2, etc. Okay. But since I only have this class once a week, I labeled it class 1, class 2, class 3, all the way to class 8. Okay, so we're gonna go right now. We're gonna go to that first class, right?
Class 1 PPT docs.
Class 1 PPT.docs, which only is an abbreviation for PowerPoint, right? So I know that my friend, or the person at Disability Services, in this case, her name was Jen, who is incredible. She sent me all of these in order, which was amazing. Week by week by week, she would make sure that I had all of these PowerPoints ahead of time. So I'm gonna open that first one. And so you might be asking, well, what's the point of all this? We're going to simplify all PowerPoints for you guys today. So let's press enter here.
Enter.
Okay.
Opening Word.
Opening Word.
Opening Word.
Okay.
Class 1
And
PPT docs.
boom, open. So what I'm gonna do, just in case you guys are sighted,
Alt space menu.
I'm
Menu.
gonna
Move right. Press down arrow.
maximize the window.
Size available. Minimize. Maximize available. Escape menu.
Okay, it's already maximized.
Leave menu bar.
I'm gonna make the font a little bigger just so that all of you guys can see. I'm gonna do Control A.
3082 characters selected.
Then I'm gonna do Control D for font.
Control D. Font colon edit type of text. Alt plus F. Font colon edit comma. Set value. Use the arrow keys.
I'm gonna put Times New Roman.
TI. Times New Roman. Font style colon edit comma. Set value.
I want to make sure that my font style is regular.
Regular.
Okay.
Size colon edit comma. Set value. Use the
And then size.
8.
I'm gonna put
9, 10, 11, 12.
12 for now. If I have to make it smaller, I will. Usually I keep mine at Arial, narrow, regular, 8-point font, because I can fit more in one page and I'm not sighted. So I'm not too worried about having to read the text. Okay, so I'm gonna press enter here.
Edit. Slide 1 colon SWK 365.
Boom. Everything is
Slide 1
now
colon.
there. And I'm gonna do Control A one more time.
3082 characters selected.
And I'm gonna do Control 1 to make sure everything is single spaced.
Control 1.
Boom. There.
Top of file. Slide
Okay.
1 colon SWK 3.
So now on the top of the page, it says slide 1.
Slide 1 colon SWK 365 colon understanding suicide.
SWK 365, understanding suicide. Okay, so the first step I want to do now, you can ask Disability Services to do this. They don't have to. In this case, they didn't do it for me, but I didn't request it because I kind of forced myself to read through the notes. Okay, so I don't really request it, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to Control down arrow.
Professor misspelled. New York.
So slide 1 literally just has the name of the class and the professor's name. In this case, it was Professor Merrick, okay, who is an incredible professor in social work. So we move on, right? And then I do Control down. By the way, Control down is to read by paragraph on JAWS, okay? And I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. I'm using Lenovo, Windows 10, and JAWS 2020. So I'm going to do Control down again.
Slide 2 colon agenda.
Now we're at slide 2. Here, I'm going to do a page break. So I'm going to do Control Enter at the beginning of that sentence.
Control enter. Page 2.
Boom. Slide 2 now starts on the second page. Okay. And I'm going to keep doing this throughout all the slides, and we're going to find out how many slides there are. Slide 3. Okay, we got that one there.
Control enter. Page 3.
Let's go to slide 4.
Slide 4 colon home.
Here it goes, slide 4.
Control enter. Page 4.
And some of you are probably thinking, how in the world is he reading all of that so quick? Well, for all of those JAWS user, intermediate, and advanced, this is probably slow. For those of you that are just beginning, this is probably a little fast, but you'll get there. No worries, okay? Let's go to slide 5. Here it goes.
Control enter. Page 5.
Then we're going to go to slide 6. Slide 6.
Control enter. Page 6.
Boom. Now slide 7. Oh, I passed it, so let's go a little back. Here it goes. Then slide 8. Okay. And then slide 9. Here we go. Now, I know there's only 9 slides, but let's check. Let's see what happens if I keep going Control down. Okay. It says blank. Blank. And if I do down arrow without control, you're going to hear that. You like my sound effects, right? That only means that I'm at the bottom of the page. Okay. So now if I want to go through each slide, I don't have to look through 3 pages of documents trying to find the slide. All I have to do is control page up, or control page down, and it'll throw me to the top of the page. So for example, if I do control home,
Page 1, top of 5, slide 1, colon, SWK.
slide 1. Let's say I go to class and they're like, we're going to skip slide 2. We're just going to go straight to slide 3. Okay, I know how to do that because I can just do control page down twice.
Next page 2, slide 2, colon, agenda. Next page 3, slide 3, colon, welcome.
To page 3, and it says slide 3, welcome, right? So now I have all of my slides individually organized per page, okay? I'm not worried about page space. I'm worried about organization. It's all in a computer, so I'm not carrying 9 pieces of paper, right? It's all in my laptop with my screen reader. So why don't we go back to the top of the page?
Page 1, top of 5, slide 1, colon, SWK, 365, colon, understanding 2
Okay.
slide.
So we're at the top of the page now, and let's see what slide 1 says.
Professor, misspelled, word.
Okay, so it just says a professor's name. Let's go to slide 2.
Next page 2, slide 2, colon, agenda.
Slide 2, agenda.
Welcome and introductions.
It says do welcomes and introductions. Now, let me emphasize something here. Sometimes, okay, let's keep reading here before I emphasize.
Syllabus and class expectations.
It says syllabus and class expectations,
Class policies and procedures.
policies and procedures,
Instructor contact information.
contact information,
Synchronous and asynchronous class time.
synchronous, asynchronous class time,
Group work, colon, self-care.
group work, self-care,
Coming up.
like things that are coming up,
Wednesday, 11:59 p.m., colon, turn in classwork.
and when to turn in classwork.
Wednesday, 11:59 p.m., colon, turn in self-care discussion and comment on 2-3 other posts.
In this class, we had to do a weekly self-care journal. So this is telling us when we had to turn that in.
Friday, 11:59 p.m., colon, asynchronous discussion, question, left parent, iris, population, right parent. Choose
And then when were discussions turned in, which were Fridays.
Saturday, 11:59 p.m., colon, comment on 3 discussion posts.
And then by Saturday, we had to have commented on 3 discussion posts.
Page 3.
And that was it. Okay. Now, let me emphasize something here. Slide 2 said welcomes and introductions. Usually on introductions, people will usually do like their name, their age, and maybe their major and something interesting about themselves, whether it's their favorite color, their favorite food, or whatever. Now, the reason people who are visually impaired or completely blind need this in advance is because we don't know what to expect. And when we're caught off guard with something, it feels a little uncomfortable. Now, everybody's different. I'm not saying everyone is this way, but there are people that are that way. And we want to be mindful of everybody, right? And everyone. So with that said, though, sometimes there's icebreakers, okay? And people who are sighted, what if there was a graphic? What if there was a graphic and it said something like, describe this picture in 3 words? You don't know what the graphic is. Now you have to ask people, and people have to describe it to you. And all of that is class time being taken up. All because a professor couldn't send it ahead of time. All because it wasn't in your hands. So we have to make classes equitable, okay? So another reason why I'd like to have these ahead of time is because I also want to reduce the not so important information. So let's go to slide 3.
Next page 3, slide 3, colon, welcome.
It's a slide 3, welcome.
Introduction.
Introduction.
About me.
About me. About you.
Put into the chat.
And put into the chat.
One thing you hope to learn from this class.
One thing you hope to learn from this class.
One hope for spring 2021.
One hope for spring 2021.
One question you have about the syllabus or the class structure.
And one question you have about the syllabus or class structure.
Page 3.
Okay. Now, this is another important thing, right? This is one of those icebreaker things. Some people don't have really advanced typing skills all the time. And if we can just finish typing those up before the class comes, at least we can be prepared to participate in these types of introduction icebreaker type of things, okay? So this is why it's so crucially important, all right? So let's go to slide 4.
Next page 4, slide 4, colon, weekly work.
Weekly work, oh.
Wednesday, 8 o'clock at 9:15, colon, synchronous online class.
Okay, so it's telling us about the weekly work.
Wednesday, 11:59 p.m., colon, Wednesday, 11:59 p.m., colon, Friday, 11 p.m., extra readings, videos, quizzes, and flash writing prompts.
It says may include extra videos, red alarm, or images, right? Or documents or articles.
Friday, 11:59 p.m., colon, asynchronous. Saturday, 11:59 p.m., colon.
Oh my goodness. This is important to know because now I know what to expect. This means, hey, there's going to be videos in this class. Oh, I got to reach out to disability services and make sure that those videos are going to be made accessible for me. You see how important a PowerPoint can be before you even begin the semester? Because there's going to be classes where in the PowerPoint, there will be a link to those videos. You can check for yourself, but sometimes they're not accessible. Sometimes you have trouble pressing even just a play button because it might be something that is not accessible. And sometimes it might be literally just music. Visually, it might be telling a story, right? But audio or auditorily, yeah, I don't know. Audio wise, it might be just music. And so people who are visually impaired may be left out. Even those, what if it was dialogue and somebody was deaf and blind, right? They need to have access to this material too. So let's keep going down.
Page 3. Page 5. Slide 5. Syllabus.
Slide 5, syllabus.
Syllabus and class expectations.
Okay, syllabus and class expectations. And I'm waiting to get approval to be able to use one of the syllabus that I really love from a professor of mine. And then we're going to be covering how to simplify syllabus. So that's going to be coming in the near future.
Class policies and procedures. Attendance. Engagement with parents. Zoom class guidelines like parent.
Okay, attendance, Zoom guidelines on the syllabus.
No late work accepted.
No late work accepted.
Difficult conversation / language matters.
Difficult conversation. Now, I want to emphasize something here. It does say no late work accepted. But I want to remind you guys, okay, you are visually impaired. It does take you a little longer, sometimes double the time, sometimes more than that, to do certain things. Now, I'm going to show you guys in the future how to find things in a PDF or in a Word document much faster so that you don't have to down arrow through your entire 30 million pages to find something specific. Okay, so let's keep going down.
Contact information folder near Salem State University.
Okay.
Class time. Flip classroom.
Okay.
Some lecture / discussion. Group work. Work. Questions. Next page. Page 6.
Okay.
Slide 6. Self
So we're going to go to slide 6. Okay, so that was just some basic information about the class and stuff that we're going to be doing. Okay.
Self-care refers to activities and practices.
I'm going to purposely go all the way to slide 7.
Next page. Page 7. Slide 7. Goals of self-care.
Goals of self-care, and then slide 8.
Next page. Page 8. Slide 8. Group work. Application of ideas.
Group work and application of ideas.
Self-care assessment. HTTPS://social.
You see right here, self-care assessment.
Self-care.
And there's a link.
Self-care assessment. HTTPS://
Okay. Again, these are very important to have, right? The reason is because sometimes those links are accessible. You can copy, paste them into a Word document, you're ready to go. But sometimes they're not. So this is where you can find out. That way, you do some of the legwork for disability services. You don't want to send all these links their way and tell them, oh, put it in a Word document. You could have done that yourself. You only want to send those websites that are not accessible, Then they can put them in a Word document for you. Or you can show up and be like, hey, I want to look through this website with you. Is there any way we can set up a meeting, right? Give them a call, set up a meeting, come in with these websites, get there prepared, and send it to them ahead of time so that they know what to expect and how to help you.
Please discuss the following topics using the self-care assessment as a resource. Identify areas of strength in your self-care. Name next page. Page 9. Slide 9. Goal self-care.
Slide 9.
Identify how you currently cope.
Okay. Identify your currently hope.
Recognize your current self-care self create an emergency make a commitment to follow your self-care plan.
And it's just giving
self-care assessment HTTPS://
and another self-care assessment link.
Self-care assessment maintenance self-care worksheet HTTPS.
And another worksheet.
Assessment.pdf. Emergency self-care worksheet HTTPS.
Another worksheet.
worksheet.
Wow. A lot of worksheets for this class, right? So this is one of those reasons why we need to be prepared ahead of the game. Now, we were able to divide our PowerPoint document, right, Word document, into different pages so that we can have them as slides per page, okay? Now, sometimes slides are really long, all right? So sometimes you'll see like slide 9A, slide 9B. But if you minimize your font and you only use a screen reader, you could even minimize it to like a 1-point font or a 2-point font or a 3-point font, whatever you need to do to make it as organized as possible. And if you look through those notes, sometimes, guys, and here's a big bonus for those of you that are staying longer in this video, sometimes there's going to be certain citations in the PowerPoints that you could use so that you can use them in essays and they will already be cited. That's not plagiarism. That's just so you get a better idea on how to cite your material in APA format, okay? And you also get an idea of where your professor found those quotes in the textbook that you may be having. And later, we're also going to be looking at some of the textbooks in a future video for this series. And so I hope you guys learn from this. And remember, guys, you don't have to do it the way I do it, but I have found this to be the most effective approach for me and for the people that I know has really worked for them. And so with all of that said, guys, one last thing I do want to add, okay? If you want to do this, you can actually make a copy of the entire PowerPoint, okay? Paste it as a copy, okay? And you're just gonna put, and I'll do this really quick right now with you guys. I'm gonna close this. It says, do you want to save your changes? I'm gonna put yes. Okay. Now I'm back in my list of files. Class 1 PPT. So I'm gonna do Control C for copy. I'm gonna do Control V for paste.
Class 1 PPT docs. Class 1 PPT dash copy docs. F2 edit. Class 1 P home.
And I'm gonna label class 1
PPT space T space 1 space T T T
PPT
space dash
and then
copy
review.
DIEW
And I'm gonna remove that dash copy
space C O P Y period.
and then
Enter.
enter.
Items view mode.
Okay, so now I have the original one and I have the copy of it, okay, which is the review.
Class 1 PPT review docs. Enter.
We're gonna open that one, okay?
Open
This is
Word.
gonna be really important
Word.
because sometimes there's slides that I really don't need, right? There's gonna be slides that I'm like, I can live without
PPT
that,
help.
okay? So what you do,
Title is Word dash protected view.
right now it's word protected view. So we're gonna do control whenever, but this is an extra thing too. Whenever your Word document is in protected view, you're gonna do Control S for save.
Control S. Microsoft Word dialog. Saving is disabled in protected view. If you trust the source of this file and would like to save, click enable saving. Cancel.
It says if you trust this file and you would like to save, click continue.
Enable saving button to activate.
And to enable saving, all right? So I'm gonna press right here, enable saving spacebar.
Space.
And then boom.
Microsoft Word
Now I can start editing this
Top of
file.
file. Top of file. Slide 1 colon SWK.
Now for this class, remember, I didn't really need slide 1, right? So I'm gonna delete slide 1
Slide
completely.
1 professor misspelled. Blank selected. Blank selected. Page rate selected. Blank.
Okay.
Adjunct slide 2 colon agenda.
Slide 2. Maybe I don't need slide 2 either, right? But what I want to do, maybe I need slide 3, right? So I'm just gonna go to slide 3.
Next. Slide 2 colon agenda. Home. Agenda. Slide 3 colon welcome. Home.
Right? And I'm gonna do Control Shift Home. That will choose everything from where my cursor is all the way up.
Selected. Slide 2 colon agenda.
And I'm gonna do backspace to delete everything.
Blank.
Boom.
Agenda. Slide 3 colon welcome.
Now my slides are gonna start at slide 3. Okay, page 1 is slide 3 now. Oh, but now my OCD, right? Like I need page 1 to be slide 1. Then you can do that. But I personally don't. And let's say I don't need slide 4 or 5.
Next. Slide 3 colon welcome.
So I'm gonna delete
Wednesday.
those.
Slide 4 colon meeting work home.
Right, slide 4. I'm gonna down arrow all the way to the end of slide 5.
When slide these tab blank blank select page rate. Slide 5 colon syllabus dash class button no different dash instructor dash fluke some lectures group dash media dash question blank select page rate. Slide 6 colon self dash share
Oh,
selected.
I hear slide 6. Let me go back up.
Slide 6 colon self dash share unselected.
Go unselect it. I'm gonna press backspace.
Blank. Page rate. Slide 6 colon self dash share.
Now page 2 starts with slide 6.
Control S.
Isn't that awesome, guys? Pretty easy, right?
Task switching.
So I hope that helps simplify some PowerPoints. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Make sure you drop a like on this video to help the algorithm of our channel here. And also make sure to subscribe, guys. We're almost at 100 subscribers. And if you guys saw my last Envision series, I am going to be doing a giveaway for our 100 subscribers celebration. So make sure you tell your friends, your family, your family's family, your pets, and their pets. So make sure to subscribe, guys. Put a like on this video. Share your comments with me and your thoughts. What do you think of this series? So guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And remember to envision inspiration. God bless you guys. Peace.